Hey, this is Crash Boom Bang, and welcome back to the final chapter of the Sacred Stones Sethless LTC. Here, we finally have the culmination of all the training we put into Myrrh, and also all the energy rings we pumped into Saleh, because we need a lot of warp range in order to do this first part. First, of course, we want to barrier up Myrrh. Her Dragonstone does give her a whopping 20 res, but Lion here still has, 55 magic attack. That hurts a lot. He's also really far away, to the point that we need as much warp range as we can get on Saleh. Thankfully, the 12 warp range he has is enough to reach. Now, of course, there is a second part of this map, and I did have to deploy my units in a particular order so that they would be in the right spots for the second part. I don't remember exactly how that gets determined, but it is what it is. You could probably look it up somewhere. Anyway, with Myrrh's 17 strength, she exactly 4-hit KOs Lion here. And with all that res she has from barrier and her stone and being trained, she doesn't even get two-shot by the guy. All the enemies around Lion don't even hurt her at all either. So the Latona rank that Mulder got, useless. He didn't even need to use this. This is just purely for style points. Wow, Latona gives like no experience. That is weird. Whatever. Myrrh does also have the hop on guard on her. Her luck is weirdly super low, so Lion can actually crit her. Without it, anyway. But yeah, she's still trucking along. Like, props to her for just being so great. I really do like her as a unit. She is the Est and Goto combination. And it works surprisingly well. But now we're on to the second part of the map with the true final boss, the Demon King, Donkey Kong. Also known as Fomortis. And yeah, right now I want to show off just how much I frickin' hate Fadofnir and Vanessa's strength. Look at that! 9 damage! That's terrible! Myrrh, of course, will deal way more damage to the guy than this, but Fomortis has a whopping 19 speed, so Myrrh can't possibly double him, since her cap is 20. Of course, we do have a secret weapon who will also be aiding in this final boss kill. You can probably guess who it is. But with the last use of our rescue and warp stabs, we get our boss killers in place. Eirika and Ephraim also have these nice convenient spots that are forward compared to everyone else, which means with Myrrh, they can rescue her back after she deals her first big chunk of damage, so that she can get danced and then do it again. Of course, if Myrrh gets lucky, she can just get the 7% crit and one-shot the guy. He only has 120 HP. I'm not rigging that though, but it's an option. Either way, after 2 smacks from Myrrh at 99 accuracy, by the way, that's going to put Fomortis in range to be killed by basically anybody. And it really can't be understated how dodgy this guy is. I mean, Myrrh's stone is super accurate, and she just barely has near 100 hit. You saw how Vanessa's hit was. Imagine if I was using Garm on this guy. You would have like 60 displayed hit with Garm. That's terrible. I should also say that Fomortis' attack, Demon Light, is a magic attack, so any sort of physical defense buffs, such as the Fadofnir, mean nothing here. Of course, there is one weapon that gives a res buff, and that's the Yanhuma. Because of that, Joshua was actually able to exactly avoid being one-shot. And he's got a really good hit, too. And with that, things draw to a close. In the description, I'll have a little spreadsheet linked that'll show all my turn counts. And I'll also have them relative to the turn counts of a playthrough with Seth. Specifically, I'll be referencing the Chungler's FE8 efficiency playthrough, where he did use Seth. Ultimately, we played with very similar rules, going for more reliable strategies and such. But the only real difference was Seth, so it makes for a good litmus test. You'll notice that almost all of the turns I lost were in the first half of the game. In fact, literally all of the turns I lost were in the first 10 chapters. And yeah, there you can see it. Seth, 0, 0, 0, as deserved. But yeah, unsurprisingly, all the early chapters get significantly tougher and worse without Seth because everyone else is so weak. But then by the time you get to chapter 10 onwards, everyone is generally a lot stronger and more capable. You get stronger new units. Things ultimately smooth out. It also helps that the mid-game just kind of has some easy breather maps that really help you adjust and get strong enough. Of the early maps though, the absolute worst are of course chapters 8 and 9. Without Seth, those maps are just terrible. But other than those two maps, honestly it's not that bad. I mean, the first, prologue 1, 2, 3, 4, those maps are easy. No problems. 5, getting Joshua is kind of a sketchy situation, but otherwise not too bad. 6 definitely gets a little harder without Seth, but it's not too bad, especially if you're making good use of pure waters here. 7 also is a little more sketchy, but really it's only 8 and 9 that you really feel the brunt of no Seth, where everything just feels like terrible. Like everyone's super unreliable, can't take hits, can't kill things. But as you'll see on the spreadsheet link below, chapter 10 onwards, no turn losses. I do also recommend Jungler's playthrough, by the way. It's a good watch. Also, I didn't quite total up who was like the top 1, 2, 3 units in terms of battles and wins, but I know that it was Vanessa, Franz, and I think Joshua. I really did use him a lot more than necessary because I just like the guy a lot, but I hope that this run also demonstrated why I think he really is a very good unit. Better than most people think, and in my opinion, equal to or better than Garrick. Because you could see in this run how valuable Garm was most of the time. Or, in cases where I used Joshua for something, it was often something that Garrick might have done too, but less reliably. The only time I really needed Garrick and Garm for anything specific was the chapter 20 boss, Morva, because Garm is like the strongest S rank weapon because it's got 20 might, so it's 40 might while effective. That's more than anything else. Alhuma is 18, so it's 36 effective. So it's not quite as strong as it could be. It also was kind of funny seeing all the L's on these characters, because before Chapter 8, I was playing with, I was playing without doing any, save stating at all, because I wanted those clean runs, but then Chapter 8 onwards, I did allow save states just to get clean runs, but I still would reset. I usually just don't have this many losses. But it is pretty funny to look back on. That all said, this was of course still an Eirika route playthrough. If someone's interested in trying an Ephraim route playthrough without Seth, who knows? Maybe it could be a little more different. Yeah, there he is. 101 battles, 75 wins. He's up at the top where he belongs. Anyway, yeah, because in this playthrough, once I hit chapter 10 onwards, things were basically the same as with Seth, just a little less reliable. But on Ephraim route, since that route is generally harder, I wonder if lacking Seth would actually make a turn loss difference. Say something like Phantom Ship, where now your only good combat unit who can really hand axe stuff is Dusel. You don't have a second one. I mean, you have Cormag too, but he does have some... He's not quite as infallible as Dusel and Seth. I like how Ford just gets like a bad ending. It's like he lives unhappily with his new job. I don't want to say deserved, because he's fine. He gets way more hate than he than he deserves, but it is amusing. Also, shoutouts to Kyle. He put in a lot of work in this run. 80 battles, 50 wins. Even if he didn't do a whole lot of actually important work, he was still there. I could rely on him. Enos is another unit that I hope I demonstrated was very useful throughout Eirika's route. People often clown on bows and Sacred Stones, but he really is a good unit in those maps. In general, people tend to lump FE7 and FE8 in together as games that are really similar, but I just don't think that's quite the case. You really can't get away with Mega Javelin enemy phases and doubling literally everything for free in Sacred Stones, as I demonstrated with Franz a lot. And even with Vanessa, who did often do a lot of Javelin enemy phases, she couldn't really kill things a lot because her strength was so bad. Oh yeah, Amelia actually got on the board. She got 4 battles, 2 wins. Shoutouts to Amelia. She really was good in general. Wait, that's more battles than Dussel. Oh my god, that's perfect. To be fair, she only got more battles because she needed to fight soldiers over the course of like 3 rounds to kill them. But she really did work. It's a shame that the Phantoms don't get counted towards Null's battles and wins, though, since he would have had more than one. And that 1 battle and 1 win is literally just killing an egg. Cormag is definitely a unit I wish I could have used more, though. Mostly because just feeling the brunt of Vanessa's bad strength hurts so bad. But there's only 1 Goddess icon in this game, and he really wants some luck boosters more than just that. Same with the books. There's 2 books, and I just can't save them both for him when he joins so much later. Shout out to La Rochelle, by the way. I think she was the only unit that never got deployed or used at all. Because she joined... maybe Loot. I might not have deployed Loot either. I guess they can both live in the club of failure. Even Dazla got deployed and did some work. Or people like Null and Dussel, they at least had a map where they were on it for free. Although Null got deployed multiple times, so yeah, Dussel more like. Yeah, Garrick. Actually, that's fewer battles than Kyle had. It's more wins, though. But still, you can see, like, that's 25 less battles than Joshua and, like, 17 less wins. A lot of that obviously comes from availability, but still. I guess to go a little further in detail to Garrick, because we got a lot of time here. I feel like he's ultimately very similar to Joshua, just as being, foot guys. But Garrick, he's deceptive. He tricks you into thinking, oh man, this guy's gonna be awesome. He's gonna be like super strong, just like Seth. But then you actually try to use him for the things you would use Seth for, and he just always comes up short. Especially boss kills. Like, Morva is pretty much the only one he really had going for him. But other than that, like, I just don't think he just doesn't quite get to that level. So he always feels more like a filler unit. Whereas Joshua is a very consistently filler for the most part, but he does it really well, so I like him for that. And it's also, he does something that basically very few other people do. He has high speed for consistently doubling common enemy types that other people struggle with, and he has high natural accuracy, which a lot of people don't actually have in this game. Yeah, that's right. Even at the end of this playthrough, I'm still going on about why Joshua's great. Why do you think I did this whole thing in the first place, huh? But with that said, credits are winding down. That'll be the end of this playthrough soon enough. I hope you all enjoyed watching. This is a good time for me. This is the first time I really did full commentary for any of my runs. It's the first run I've done in a while, really. I enjoyed playing with average stats, and if any of you are interested in trying Sethless Ephraim route, be my guest. I hope that my run, or any other resources, will help you along the way. And if you're ever interested in checking out further runs, you can always try hitting up the efficiency server. I'll probably put a link to that in the description. May as well. Maybe I'll see you there, and maybe you can try to run yourself. Thanks for watching. See you next time.